halfway there. The month is almost, well, we're halfway there. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a great Friday. We're going to have a lot of fun today, guys. We're going to be chatting with the two trainers that participated in the 9-round professional fight that happened this past weekend. And you're going to get the opportunity to see the fight in its entirety. That's right. We're going to show it right here on Johnny Davis Live. And also in talking with those trainers, we're going to dig a little deep, find out, what they were thinking, what it felt like, and all of those other things. So, hey, if you have a few moments, buckle down and join us here today for an hour of chatting and seeing some great, seeing a great fight. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Hopefully you'll stick around with us. Also want to thank our sponsors, Eastern Offset Printing. And always we want to thank our East Coast Classics, the IKF East Coast Classic, the spring, the fall, and the upcoming Winter Classic that we'll call it in Georgia. Hopefully you guys will join us for that. Registration for that event, by the way, will start on November the 1st. Right, November the 1st is going to be a registration. It's important to get that registration in, right, as early as possible so you can get that top seed, right, in those four brackets, in those four fighter brackets. So whoever's first get the top seed, and that is an important position to be in when you're talking about fighting. All right, so be sure to register for the IKF Georgia Classic starting November the 1st. It's going to be the weekend of January 14th, 15th, and 16th. That is Martin Luther King weekend. It's a long weekend. So, guys, hey, a reason to definitely get out there and join in on the fun. All right, not going to take any more time. We're going to go ahead and get right into it with our guest here today. My first guest I want to bring up, and I'll bring up both of the gentlemen here shortly, but I know he has to run a little bit as well. So I am going to go ahead and bring up Mr. Walker Vivian. Walker Vivian is the trainer of Jeremiah Scott. There he is. Walker, how are you, sir?
Hi, Johnny.
Good. Man, good to have you on today. I want to always thank you for your support and being a part of our events and everything. And, I know that you guys had we had a big fight last week with your fighter, Jeremiah Scott. And Jeremiah did a good job out there. He was out there, banging away. And but there's a lot leading up to the fight and everything as well that, we could certainly talk about. And certainly want to also talk about the after effects, things that, maybe have changed and maybe he's a little bit different now. But I think the first thing that I probably would like to ask you about is the 9 rounds, right? What did that feel like to you? I mean, tell me a little bit about your thoughts.
Yeah, so the 9 rounds, man, it was really fun. Between the coach and fighter relationship Jeremiah and I have, it was extremely fun. He was, as far as conditioning wise, it was the best conditioning he was ever in, and we were having conversations in between each round, and it was pretty cool because we're kind of scorekeeping, all right, you got that round, we're going.
Yeah.
It was so many rounds. At one point, I had to check with the ref, and I was like, "Hey, what round?"
Right.
But it was something I was talking about earlier this week. The 9 rounds is really cool. So I'm a bit of a movie buff, and I watch shows and stuff like that. And with the usual 3 rounds or even 5 rounds that we get, it's almost like you're just watching an episode in a series or something, and you only get a little bit. You got to wait till the next one to see what happens.
Yeah.
But with the 9 rounds, it very much was being in a cinema watching a 2-hour movie. You know what I mean? It was super cool to see kind of the first act. Jeremiah's kind of, he's winning each round in the first 3. That's the first act. The second act, Caleb's starting to come back and make it more competitive, and each round it could go either way. And then the final act or the climax, you could say, Caleb kind of started to take off a little bit at the end of the fight. It was really cool. Just as far as from the corner and coaching, seeing how the whole thing was playing out on top of all the pre-fight stuff that was going on. It was very it had a lot of movie-esque things going on, with the brash, almost the heel that Jeremiah was playing in the press conference, and even during the fight.
That's interesting. I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to double team this thing right now. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Chris, because Chris will be sitting there and everything. He'll start feeling some type of way since he's there. since he's there, and Chris will be trying to get in, and he'd be like, "What's up with that, man?" And all this. Johnny, they can't hear me. They can't hear me. So I want to go ahead and bring up Chris as well, and so we can just kind of have a chat, all together. Chris, what were your thoughts about those 9 rounds?
Man, I 100% agree with Walker. Actually, to be honest, I'm glad it was 9 rounds, because if it was 3 rounds, we wouldn't have won the fight. So I'm liking.
Okay. That is interesting that you say that, because Walker puts it in a way of chapters, right? And he's right about that. But again, if it would have only gone 5 rounds, we'd have been scratching our heads at the very end.
It would have been a different fight. So to Jeremiah's credit, I've known Walker and Jeremiah for a long time. So we've just been in the circuit for a long time. Right. So Jeremiah did change some things that training camp, that just his cardio was way better shape. He was able to hit hard and knock out power, even the 9th round. So he was dangerous the whole fight, which we knew he would be. But he just started a lot. Like, usually he starts fast, but he kind of goes off the gas pedal a little bit. The gas pedal wasn't going off, and he just kept going. He kept off balancing Caleb. Now, to be honest, Caleb started a little faster than I wanted him. Caleb, I think, started just a hair fast. He was trying to end the fight in the first 3, which actually backfired. I was a little, he was going a little bit fast for my pace. I wanted us to pace a little bit more. So the 9 rounds allowed us to have that conversation, have that come to Jesus speech, have that dad and son talk, to where by the 3rd round, I was like, listen, if we keep going like this, we are going to lose the fight. Because what Jeremiah was doing really good, which I'm sure Walker will talk about this more, but what Jeremiah was doing really good was playing the judges. He would start really aggressive, really fast. Right. And knowing Caleb is traditional Muay Thai, and we're going to be maybe a little slower, but he would start like, a gunshot. And he would get those hard combos, and he would yell with every combo. So even if the combo might not have hit 100%, he yelled, so it made it looked like it was just a devastating blow. Right. And then after that, when Caleb would try to clinch off that, he just shut the clinch down. He would wrap him up, put him against the ropes, and I'm sure they game planned that, because that worked very well for their favor.
Well, it could have also worked against him. It could have worked against him, because
it could have worked against him. But if Caleb hadn't rushed so much, Caleb rushed the clinch too much, and we just ended up rushing it instead of setting it up. But after that 3rd round, we just kind of sat down and said, hey, listen, this is what he's doing. We can't rush that clinch. We got to use our outside game. You got to, that first 20, 30 seconds, when he starts fast, you're going to have to move, land that push kick, land that body kick, land those jabs, kind of stop that initial onslaught. Even if you're not cracking him with anything hard, you've got to score those points. So that way, when we get in the clinch, we can make the most of the clinch, and then kind of use that. So by the 3rd or 4th round, we were changing the game plan to where, hey man, we gotta use some movement that first minute, and then the 2nd minute we go to work. We put together our combos. We go to work, because by that time, by the end of the fight, Jeremiah was a little bit slower the last minute of the 2 minutes, and than he was the first. But again, he still had knockout power the whole time, so it was definitely something we were nervous about. But yeah, man, it was an awesome fight. And to be honest, I think when you watch the fight, people might be like, "Oh man, Jeremiah was flipping off the crowd. He was doing this, doing that."
That's Jeremiah.
That's who he is. I knew he was like that before the fight. I don't take any of that personal. He knows that. I mean, after the fight, we had a great conversation. I mean, I know their team. He's a great fighter, but what is so unique about him, he kind of made that fight with his good guy versus bad guy, because Caleb's so quiet. It was an exciting fight to watch. It was, I don't want to say good versus evil, because it's not like that. Good guy versus bad guy, that kind of stuff. He really played the crowd. He even looked at our team one time and was like, yelling at him. You want.
Conor McGregor-ish.
It was a little bit pro wrestling-ish, actually. And so we need more of that. To be honest, we need more of that to a healthy extent in the fight, because Caleb was so calm, cool, relaxed, and you had Jeremiah, who was more of the, hey, I'm coming to rip your face off. We need a little bit of that, man. It was just
so Walker, really awesome Walker, your thoughts on that? Chris is kind of long-winded. He's like me, right?
I'm sorry, Walker. I'll talk all day.
Chris will have his own talk show one day, I guarantee you. But Walker, what are your thoughts on the strategy time in the 9 rounds, as opposed to, you kind of alluded to it already, as opposed to the 5 rounds? You know, like you said, you guys had time to chat and all that. How important do you think that is to a fight, though, as opposed to just the 5 rounds?
Well, kind of like what I talked about earlier. Like if you
Yeah.
can literally break the round as far as like how things changed into 3 sets. Like the first 3 rounds were a little different from the middle 3 rounds, and they were different from the last 3 rounds. Exactly what Chris was saying. We knew Caleb was more traditional Thai, so we did want to start fast in the beginning rounds and the beginning of each round. About the turning point, I think was the 7th or 8th round. I haven't seen the fight yet, so like I was saying,
You're getting ready to see it.
Fight. I'm still confused about what round was what.
Right.
But there was a momentum change after Jeremiah took a hard knee. And we had to really like change things up after that. And that was when he started moving around and kind of making the idea was to have Caleb chase him. But I'm guessing something was going on in the corner of Chris and Caleb too, of like, maybe don't chase him, because that round was kind of funny how it worked out like that. But nah, man, I mean, honestly, like, I didn't think I would say this, but I would love to be able to coach more 9-round kickboxing fights. So it was a really cool experience on this end as well.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole idea. This is why I've been on this campaign. And listen, I'm a Lone Star guy here. I was, at least. Now, but because nobody else, everybody, they were calling you, Walker. You told me, oh man, that's dangerous. Oh man, that's tough. You know, because they do not, people, I'm trying to tell you, you can call me whatever you want to call me, right? I am telling you, I have a vision for the sport, right? And in order to have a vision, you got to have courage. And sometimes you have to walk the plank that nobody else is willing to walk. I've already been a fight. I know what it feels like to fight more rounds. And so I know some of the effects that are being missed in this concept of fighting longer rounds. I don't know who's calling me right now, but I'm sorry. They should maybe be looking at my show and not calling me. How about that? All right. So anyway, guys. So great. I want to. Hold on one second. Somebody they just keep calling me over and over. I'm sorry about that. But ignore. Have to do that. Hey, we're live, guys. That's what it's all about. I want you to tell me, did this fight influence you as a trainer anymore about how you're going to deal with your fighters? Walker?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm glad it was noticed. Jeremiah's gas tank is normally I don't want to say questionable, but it's not as full, right? So this fight
Yeah.
we definitely filled the tank up the right way, and we kind of prepared for the right way, because it was new. I mean, nine 2-minute rounds. The closest thing I've ever trained someone for that was 5 5s,
Right.
and that's a whole nother thing in itself. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it definitely I took a different approach altogether. I mean, like I said, man, I was talking to you on the phone the other day, like, it gets me pumped up thinking about doing another one, you know? So it was, I mean, I can't say it enough. It was really cool. It was really cool to train for and to get somebody prepared for it, and then to actually coach them through it. And in between rounds was, man, it was really cool.
Chris, so, I mean, you've been in this game a long time. How do you think we got stuck in the 5-round game?
Well, 5. I mean, that 5 rounds as far as Muay Thai, that goes back to Thailand, man. I mean, that's just you're just not going to change that. I mean, that's just how it is over there. But
maybe not in Thailand, but it's going to change here.
But here in the U.S., as far as the Muay Thai fights, you have a lot of and Walker's probably seen this too. And this is Walker's probably seen this coming places. I think sometimes in the United States, I see this a lot, and I actually tell my fighters, I love Muay Thai. I've been involved in Muay Thai for a majority of my life. I started training when I was like 13, 14 years old, fought all over. My passion is Muay Thai, but I'm American. All right. No offense to Thais. I'm not Thai. Right. So now, yes, when I'm doing Muay Thai, I want it to be scored Muay Thai. I want it to do things. I want that to work.
We had that conversation.
But I mean, I want those to work. But again, I'm not. You have some guys that are so wanting to look like Thailand. They wear they why everybody, they, say all the Thai phrases you're supposed to say. They just act too Thai and they forget it's a fight. It's a fight.
Right.
So I think the cool thing about the 9 rounds is it puts the fight element back into it, and it gives the crowd a little bit more of just the fight. I liked it a lot better than the 5 rounds personally, because you have more time with your fighter, like Walker was saying, and you can really have a whole just movie. That was a very good analogy for this fight. Was very much like a movie, because the person that's winning the first couple might not win the fight, or the person who's winning the middle of the fight might not win the whole fight. I mean, it's just, you never know, and it keeps the people on the edge of their seat. And I think, but you got to have it matched correctly. I think you did a great job matching this fight. You had 2 very unique styles, and if it would have been matched any other way, I don't think it would have been as much of a success, in my opinion. I think you had 2 very unique fighters that were good in their disciplines. And when you put those 2 together, man, it was just fireworks all night long. And I think that was one of the big things, too, kind of the matchmaking and the 2 styles together.
Well, thank you. Walker, so has this fight done anything to the psychology of Jeremiah?
Yeah. This is the best I've seen him after a loss or after a win, as far as like his energy and what's the word? Just attitude towards it. He had a really good time. He told me and Clay over and over, guys, that was probably the most fun I've ever had in a fight. He now knows his worth as far as like fight purses. He's got something lined up in December, and
hopefully you get ready to tell us this story.
You hoped I would, yeah. So he's got a 6-round title fight in boxing, and like I said, this fight helped him understand what he's worth. So he got paid appropriately for this fight coming up in December. So
awesome. We're not going to talk about the exact numbers, but let's put it this way: they were offering a lower amount than what he just got paid. And he said, no go, right? And that's the idea. That is exactly what my intention. That's why I say, let me go dig just a little bit. I'm going to go dig. I go on a mattress or something. I went to Chris's house and I went in his secret compartments. I got money. I went to walk. Hey, and I just said, I want to make sure these guys get paid more, right, than what the average guys will get paid for a fight like this. And listen, that's nothing compared to what we're going to do. Now that Kayla's the champion, Kayla gets a little bit more. I shouldn't say that. Maybe I shouldn't say that. but it's the truth. And we have to talk about what the future plans are, right? Because I would like to have not you guys fighting each other again right now anyway, but certainly want to have Caleb come to defend this title, sometime, and certainly have Walker back on the show, fighting again and building up his resume. We certainly want that, as he just removed himself from the screen. So it's just you and I for the moment. He'll come back up in just a moment here. Chris, I think that my mind kind of goes to when I think about the what it took for the preparation. Tell me a little bit about, and just not to knock a hole in my back, about what did you think about the actual production of the event, as opposed to maybe some of the other events you've been involved with, from the press conference to the setup and all of that?
Yeah, I thought it was really nice. We've had our fighters on all the big shows, Glory, Lion Fight. We have fighters fight on Lion Fight. We really love, Lion Fight takes great care of us too. We've been on a lot of shows, but the thing I really liked about this is that show, the way it was done, the way you had it set up at night, all the lights, everything. Man, it felt like I actually told somebody this that night after the fight. I said, you know what, Johnny could have had this on pay-per-view right beside, pretty much.
Well, it was on pay-per-view.
You know what I mean? I'm talking pretty much
yes.
The other event that was going on that night, and people would have paid to see that. The production was good. And again, I can't take my hand off enough to Jeremiah in the fight, and how him and Caleb's style complemented each other in the fight. I mean, it was an amazing first fight. I think it was a great fight to make. And, and like I said, the production was really good. We really liked it. And Caleb kept talking about how, what a great time he had. And again, all the other events treat us well, but I know you personally, so it meant a little bit more being able to fight for you. We've been on your shows for probably like 8 years now or something. So we've been with you a long time. So to watch Caleb fight amateur for you 8 years ago, and now having Caleb fight all over the world, and then coming back fighting one of the main events on your show, that was really special. So it was really good.
Right. Well, we definitely want to keep that momentum moving forward. No doubt about that. If I can just get you guys to talk about me like you talk about Lion Fight and Glory, maybe I'll feel the love. I mean, I'm just not feeling the love yet. But hey, I'm gonna keep trying. Right now, I don't know. Maybe it's just my name, Johnny Davis. Maybe it doesn't sound like Glory or doesn't sound like Lion Fight. Or I don't know. Maybe I need to change my name. Hey, Walker, maybe I can change my name. As soon as Caleb finished, he was talking about Lion Fight. I'm like, well, God, what about us? I mean,
the only reason we said that is because I don't know if Scott Zur and everybody's looking. The only reason we said that is because we definitely want a rematch with Jake Peacock. We definitely want that. That's no lie. I mean, we just rushed that fight a little bit. It was 5-round fighting. So I think he was thinking about that. So we definitely want to get back out there, and we got some unfinished business in Lion Fight. And that's just what any fighter would do. But Caleb really loved fighting for you, like always. I love the way you always treat us. You always give us super tough fights. You don't. That's what I want my fighters fighting, tough fights. I don't want them fighting bums or tomato cans.
Right.
And to fight somebody with such the resume as Jeremiah, but also who brings the fight every round. Again, it was a great pro show, man. I can't say enough about it.
I appreciate it. Walker, what did you think about the production from the press conference to the way we tried to treat you to just the fight itself?
Yeah, it's good.
And this is not to knock a hole in my back. I just want to, hey, it is what it is. Whatever you say. Whatever you say.
Yeah, no. You guys stepped it up from the I've only been to your stuff the last 2 years, I think, since I've been back. But you guys stepped it up a lot. The press conference was really cool. Even Jeremiah, he's done a few high level shows. I had done some press conferences in the past for Triumph. They were like streamed, so I'd never done like an in person one. And to see Jeremiah get to do it, dude, it looked good. It looked really good.
Good. Well, I will tell you this, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for being a part of the promotion. My plans are big. My head is in the sky. I want to do bigger and better things for the sport. I want to promote as many local fighters as we can. My goal is not to have 5 or 10 pro fights on my card. I do know, though, as I continue to grow, just like what happened in California, after a while, I have so many champions. So at that point, then I would probably have to have more pros, but it's going to be a slow build. So those fighters that do fight on my cards, I'm going to treat them well. That's the key. I don't want to just have 10 pro fighters and everybody's getting $2. All right. I want to get, the fighters on there making thousands, right? And keep moving that forward, and hopefully we'll get more sponsorship dollars and more backing and stuff like that. And I'm going to share it. I'm going to share everything to make sure that the fighters are taken care of. And that is my commitment.
What was that? He's going to share it with us, Walker?
I mean that.
And I give out some coaches, purses.
Hey, I'm telling you the truth. You watch me as we move forward, and things go. We're gonna move forward, because the more we build the fighters, the more we'll get on pay-per-view sales, the more we're gonna get in attendance and all of that, right? So I just want you to know, both of you guys did a good job in getting people out. I certainly appreciate the support. I think right now people are probably waiting to see the fight, So what I'm going to do, I'm going to assign you guys off, or at least you can be in the lobby if you want. I'm just going to show the fight. I don't know if you're going to hang. I don't know if you want to hang around for 30 minutes, right? But I'm going to show the fight if you want to come back on. I got to sit here and kind of do the programming. But I am going to show it and stuff like that. I know, Walker, you said you had to run, but Chris,
I got to pick my girl up from school. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I understand that. So mainly I want to bring you on just to get your comments. But right now, we're going to watch a fight for the next 30 minutes of the show and everything. Again, guys, congratulations. Thanks so much for being on today, guys. And we'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right.
Thanks,
see you guys.
Okay. All right, bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, right there, we were speaking with Mr. Chris Clodfelter and Mr. Walker Vivian. Hey, I know a lot of you guys have been waiting to see this. It was a great event, a great show, a great showing of the fighters out there doing their thing. So without any further ado, guys, I'm going to go ahead and show you the 9-round fight. And again, the great thing about this is that even if you even if you don't have time to watch it right now, you might not, because it's 9 rounds and not just 5, right? That you are going to be able to go on my YouTube channel on Johnny Davis Live with 3 exclamation marks, or on my Facebook pages, and it's going to be all over those pages and all over Chris's pages and Walker's pages and everything. So you're going to be able to see it after today. So don't worry about it if you can't hang out right now and see it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, we're going to take it right to ringside, where we had our host and co-host calling the fight, Mr. Derek Reams, Mr. Chad Mueller, and Mr. Mike Pacheco. So let's take it up. I'm going to get off the screen here and get out of your way. And here you go, guys. Enjoy.
For that, at you.
So he's getting that waistlock and kind of dropping it and then letting his hands go and then getting it again.
Inside kick, knee to the side from Caleb.
Yeah, he's starting to show layers to his decision to clinch, like he's clinching and then creating a little space and mixing it up.
Head kick. And now Jeremiah is wrapping up and talking some trash to him.
And Caleb rolls his eyes.
He's complaining about low blows.
Time call.
There's a middle finger. That was supposed to be a middle finger. You just couldn't see it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all.
I want you to know that I'm doing this as hard as I can inside this glove, this middle finger.
It's definitely there. Had my hands not been wrapped.
People in the crowd yelling, use your hands. Well, when you have a guy that can knee through a brick wall, so it's not as easy as it sounds.
Yeah. So what was that you said Jeremiah's doing again? It's all or nothing?
All the way in or all the way out. You know, you're relatively safe in either place. There we go. Oh. This is the dynamic striking that I expected.
But Jeremiah's got to make sure he's not gassing himself out here, because Caleb is taking those blows.
Yeah, he's composed and his defense is in order.
This is round number 5, scheduled 9. Professional men's matchup for the interstate title.
There was a cross that shot across Caleb's chin right there, and he's just basically no-sold it. His composure's next level composure.
10 seconds to go in round number 5. A big knee to the midsection. And now Caleb drives in, and they get tangled up like a pretzel in the neutral corner, and that's the way chapter number 5 of a 9-chapter book is written.
So fun.
For that. 10 seconds to go in round number 5. A big knee to the midsection. And now Caleb drives in, and they get tangled up like a pretzel in the neutral corner, and that's the way chapter number 5 of a 9-chapter book is written.
So fun trivia. Here's the part of the show where I kiss and tell a little bit.
Okay.
That's jump spinning back kick that we saw from Jeremiah. He has broken one of my ribs with that kick a long time ago in another life. And he can hit that thing from close. He can hit it from far, and it hits hard with minimal effort on his part. If he lands that, then we might see Caleb crack under. That'd be the first sign of pain that we probably see on Caleb's face.
Yeah. So Bruce is announcing that we're going into uncharted territory right now with kickboxing. Or let me set the record officially correct. It's uncharted territory that we haven't been in a long time. We're going to the 6th round. Johnny Davis likes to remind us consistently that it used to be a time when we went 9 and 12s. Tonight, we're going into that space, Chad.
Absolutely, and it allows the fight to tell a story. This fight is telling a story right now, and otherwise it'd be over. And the fight is now just starting to get good.
Round number 6.
And they picked the right 2 dudes to do it. Absolutely, 2 very clashing styles.
There's a clinch from Caleb.
Personality and fight.
What a bizarre world we're in where it's Jeremiah initiating the clinches and pushing him against the ropes.
And I think he's doing that in part to slow down the fight, right? He just got a knee. And Jeremiah's smiling to the corner of Chris Clodfelter as they entangle. And like you said, initiating that clinch again and driving him back to the rope.
But he went to do that little move where he breaks it and throws those inside shots. He's just got to do it a bit earlier before Dale breaks it.
This is round number 6, scheduled 9 rounds. Knees to the midsection from Caleb Hunter.
I would love to have these guys mic'd up and hear all that.
Yeah, no, we couldn't air it.
Yeah.
We probably could not have aired it. I tell you what, you're getting a fight here, ladies and gentlemen. Up into the ropes.
Chad, what do you think? What do you think the damage is to the forearms on Jeremiah Scott? You seeing all these knees that he's blocking because he's?
Yeah, I don't think the knees are bothering him per se. Blocking those, but the kicks definitely.
What about the knees to the midsection that Caleb is landing on him?
Yeah, those will take a toll. Before you know it, your abs, your whole stomach, everything starts to kind of tighten up, and you don't have that speed, that power that you normally have.
10 seconds to go here in round number 6.
And he's landed a lot of teeps, dead center mass.
Yeah. And like I said, it just, over time, it just tightens up your whole body.
And that's the end of round number 6. And Jeremiah says, get off of me.
Get off of me, yeah.
And the story continues to be written according to your unofficial score sheet over there, Mr. Shadow. What do you got?
Round 2 is the only one I wasn't really sure on because I wasn't keeping score during that one. I was too busy fanboying and watching. I have it potentially 3-3 right now after 6.
Wow. Coming up on round number 7, because this is not charter territory, what are you telling your guy?
It's really about who can just stay the course. This is tough. Jeremiah's made a surprising number of adjustments. I'm surprised this late in the game he's still each round doing something a little bit different. And what Caleb is doing is working. I want to see if anyone actually makes any drastic changes.
Round number 7.
I'd like to see him go to his kicks a little bit more. When he's throwing them, he's landing them. And even if he's not landing them, they're blocking him on those forearms, and those are making a toll.
Yeah, and we haven't seen a lot of leg kicks from him either.
Jeremiah steps in and leads with the left. Initiates the clinch again.
I guess when a guy's swinging, trying to take your head off with punches, throwing leg kicks becomes a little less.
Oh, big right hand there.
Like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
dynamic.
Throwing some heat on those kicks.
Uh-oh. Jeremiah's back talking trash.
But that's when Jeremiah's is most dangerous, when he can bounce and bounce and bounce and be dynamic and have a rhythm, get his rhythm going.
And now you identify that as one of his strengths, but yet in his strongest points, he's clinching.
So that knee blocked on his forearm, that would hurt. He had a skip jumping knee.
Had a little extra pop on it.
Yeah, a little extra pop.
And even though he got the block,
can't do that. There's unified rules. There's no sweeps.
That first right knee landed in there. We saw a grimace.
Yep. He's looking at it. Oh.
Caleb needs to come right back with it. Bring some more knees.
I have this round pretty even right now.
Driving those knees to the solar plex. Jeremiah Scott. Sunshine Fry trying to get him loose. Ten seconds to go in round number 7.
Whoa.
Running knee, lifting in the knees. One extra one at the end.
Jeremiah just. Yeah, Jeremiah is grimacing and holding his ribs.
Yeah.
So here is what I'm looking at. I was judging that round, and I had it pretty even. Now, did the judges see Caleb land that knee and hurt him?
I know at least one did.
I know at least one did. Did the others, though? They got ice on that rib.
And you guys talked about that body of work being built over through the match, and eventually those knees would cause a cringing in the midsection, the locking up of those muscles, and we may have just witnessed that.
That was the first time we saw both of them. And actually, Caleb had a couple moments in this fight where he was wearing some pain on his face, so he had some blood coming out of his nose. And when he got up from the sweep, it wasn't with the same stoicness that he's been moving around. So both guys are feeling this fight.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, that sweep.
And they're getting up. Jeremiah gets right up.
That sweep didn't score, but it did take some energy out of him.
Here we go.
Jeremiah is going to pull out all the stops. He's going to go big. He's going to spin. He's going to jump. He's going to do something kind of wild.
He's trying to avoid the knees right now, though.
Round 8 right here.
Watch for him to switch stances and throw whatever hand is rear. He's going to move. He's going to switch and throw the rear hand if he gets set. Caleb was ready for it.
Yep. He said no.
He can also do it from the left hand, too. You might see him switch. He'll switch to southpaw, try with the left
Caleb
hand.
Hunter did one of those feints on him, but wasn't able to do anything from it.
Jeremiah's going back to the light footwork.
Yeah, I'd like to see that left kick come from Caleb.
Yeah, I think more body kicks from Caleb would kind of seal this a little better and not.
I think Jeremiah's plan here is to recover.
Yep.
And you're right, Icy.
I know this gentleman very well. Lots and lots of rounds with him.
And I think in part what he's doing is he's recovering.
The point of the knee went in.
It's just the way he's able to skip back, jump up, and put his whole body and power in that knee. That's not a normal knee.
Right.
It's a beautiful Thai-style knee. There's that left kick again. I think he knows those ribs are a little exposed.
We got to be about midway, if not deeper, into round number 8.
Left hand snaps Jeremiah's head.
There's that knee again. Jeremiah kind of turned him as he's throwing it, so it kind of took a lot of the ump away.
10 seconds to go. Round number 8. Jeremiah steps into a right. And he... wow.
So, you see, for all his bravado, you saw he had the presence of mind that he felt that, he heard that bell ring and pulled that last shot, even though he very much wanted to throw it. He very much wanted to throw that spinning elbow or back fist, whichever it was going to be.
So, according to my unofficial scorecard, I have Caleb up 5 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 rounds to 3. Only way I can see Jeremiah winning right now is if he either gets a knockdown for a draw or finishes him here in the 9th round.
Jeremiah can do it.
And I think we got to have a winner here tonight, so we can't leave with a draw. We got to have a winner because there's an interstate title on the line.
Yeah, I don't think a draw would be a good idea.
No. Not behind us, no.
9th and final round.
And you can't help
going crazy right now. Loving it.
Jeremiah trying to bait him in, and he said, let's have a war, let's fight. I don't think Caleb's going to fall for any of that.
History making right here. You guys are watching live pay-per-view. Thank you, Johnny Davis. This is amazing.
So
Superman punch. Got a little bit of it.
And that knee drives back into the midsection of Jeremiah Scott.
Another big knee. Another one.
And another one.
Left and a right knee.
And another. And another. And another. Caleb is going to the bread and butter. Jeremiah wants to swing hands.
Oh,
Another knee. And punching.
Jeremiah doing a little boxing there.
And a teeth kick. Caleb said had he not found Muay Thai kickboxing, he would have been a boxer.
Oh. Both guys narrowly missed big shots.
Sunshine Fry calls for the break.
Let's talk about the conditioning of both these fighters. Oh, teep to the face.
Switch to the left.
Not much on it, though.
Yeah, but both these guys have such big arsenals. You're seeing like so many different attacks from each man.
This is round number 9. Uncharted territory accomplished.
And now it's Caleb coming forward.
Yeah, and that knee did make contact.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. And that's the end. What a match. What a match. And I'm a see if they're going to let me go up to the ring.
With as much emotion as is going on around this fight in this room, I don't think anyone's going to be happy with any decision.
No.
Yeah. But he loves it. He doesn't mind playing the heel. He loves it.
He loves it, absolutely. And it's good to see them, in the ring.
You can't help when you know this. It don't matter how you feel about it, dude. Once this is over, it's so hard. It's hard for us to still be mad at each other. You know.
Now, do I think they're going to be best of friends after this? Maybe, possibly not.
This one, when Brooks is talking, listen in your ear. Make sure it's not too terrible.
So the judges having to do a little bit of mathematics, and I'm glad Icy Mike is not doing that.
Yeah, I would mess that up for real. I'd be like, I feel like that guy.
Here we go, Bruce.
Witness history. We're going to the judges' scorecards. First of all, let's give it up for these two guys. Caleb Hunter, Jeremiah Scott.
Crowd on their feet, awaiting this decision here.
Yeah, everybody's
Judge number 1
holding their breath.
scores this bout 87-85. Come on. Judge number 2 scores this bout 87-84. Come on, baby. Judge number 3 scores this bout 87-84. Your winner by unanimous decision at the new South Carolina Interstate Light Middleweight Champion by unanimous decision, Caleb Hunter.
Obviously, Jeremiah Scott not happy with the decision, but I agree with it. It's what I had written down on my paper here. Obviously, both fighters, nothing to hang their head about, but Jeremiah wanted to win, obviously.
Yeah, and it's all in what you score and what rule set you're in, what sport you're in, and what you're doing. Different things are more valuable other places. The control of the clinch of the knees is probably sort of what sealed it, because I think in the longer exchanges, I don't think it was clearly one-sided.
And it's great to see a little bit of emotion coming out of Caleb Hunter.
Yeah.
Great young man. Like we said, he found martial arts from being bullied. And here we are with Derek Reams.
to the landmark in Myrtle Beach. He said he wanted to get my ass, but I got his ass out of the because he used to speak Canada. What was it like to go all 9 rounds? I didn't think I would be able to finish him. He showed me a lot of heart. He did change the game up good. He said he was everything from gas and gas. He really didn't make the gas off. Just make sure that everything. We are in as the interstate champion, what's next for you? Contracted Lion Fight. You got Lion Fight. Keep all with me. Try to figure out. This game will underscore Leroy. Just like Bruce Lee on last track. Coach, talk to us. This is what changed my life. I was on a really bad path before this. This is my coach for about 2 years. I had ups and downs. Really good. Chris, when we talked earlier, you said he's like your son. Did he make Daddy proud tonight?
We knew Jeremiah's style and Jeremiah, what he did in his training, changed the game up. He gave us some surprises tonight. We honestly were trying to plan on the end of this thing the 4th round. And it just went back to Jeremiah screws up, changes his game plan up. It's a credit to his team. I know Walker was great with that coach. He probably knew our style was finishing. And they did a great job. And they should all be proud of it. I'm just very proud of Caleb. You know, after playing around for a second round, he got serious. And last end of the fight, he kind of got a bit. And I'm very proud of him. Like I said, a lot of it. And he's like a senior.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as they say, there's only one thing left to do, and that's to go out and celebrate.
Thank you so much for everybody tuning in. I had 2 weeks. Everybody knows me. I got a hell of a feet too. I got a $50 budget every week. I'm out the home for 200 with this nice check. So speaking of which, you got to be real.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new champion is Caleb Hunter. On behalf of Johnny Davis and everybody who helped put this thing together, thank you to each and every one of you for coming out and enjoying.
Hey guys, I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Don't forget tomorrow we have another full like 26 nights starting at 9 o'clock. I hope you guys can come down and check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I'm just very proud of Caleb and very proud of Jeremiah Scott. Guys, all of you did a great job. Hey, 9 rounds, 3 more rounds, more entertainment. That's what it's about. Thank you again. We'll see you tomorrow or lunch.
All right, gentlemen.
Hey, don't forget, somebody wants the cell phone.
So,
If you found the cell phone,
as they
please
say,
take it to the back
that's how the cookie crumbles. And absolutely, Jeremiah did not do what was expected, so to speak, of him to go in the ring.
They said that he surprised them, he surprised me, and I have sort of like a little insight into that. He definitely was more technical and composed than we all expected him to be.
But I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, it was amazing. He was able to fight the whole 9 rounds, which everyone kind of believed might be a problem based on his style.
Caleb, I'm sorry, I'm calling you Caleb. Chad, talk to us. What did you see in that matchup?
Yeah, in that matchup, I saw Caleb. We knew what he was going to do. We knew he was going to clinch and throw those knees. And the power that he was able to throw those knees and the damage he was able to do throughout the fight with those knees. Those were not just some little weak knees that you see maybe in MMA, you know, they throw some knees. It's not crazy power. The way he was able to jump and slam those knees in there It's a different type of knee, and that was the story of the fight. Jeremiah, I was surprised he kept getting into the clinch. I thought he was going to work a lot harder to stay out of it and trying to keep it with the hands. And I think he was having success with the leg kick when he was throwing those hard kicks. I think he's going to look back at this and say, I wish I would have kind of
gone a leg kick more.
Stayed on that.
Every time he threw that leg kick, he pop, 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 combo, boom, you see that leg kick, and you see Caleb's leg. It was clear they were landing flush. He'll look back and be like, I should have thrown more of those.
And I will say that I think at the end of the night, regardless of the fluffing words from both fighters, I think they both gained a mutual level of respect for one another at the end of the night.
You can't help it. You can't help it. If you traded blood and sweat with somebody, you can't help but look at him with some kind of respect.
Jeremiah definitely a little disappointed that he did not win the title, but this will not be the last time we see him. He will definitely be back. And for Caleb Hunter, the story has been written. He had a challenging year. He only fought one other time this year, and he lost that match. He's waiting on his Lion fight contract to come on through and get called for that next fight. This right here is a big boost for him, and definitely helps him stay in the game and keep going. Final thoughts from you, Chad?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am more than ready for March and our East Coast Classic Spring Classic because guess what? What's probably going to come to that? Another 9-round battle.
Absolutely. I see.
Especially as good as this one was. Like sometimes you might worry, like, well, what if it gets a little, in the later rounds? This was round 1 to round 9. It was a fight the whole time that anybody could have won at any time.
And you know, guys, as we get set to wrap up here, one of the things that was going through my mind was, would this just kind of turn into a messy mess?
No.
But it was far from that. Both fighters, regardless of the words, were very respectful for the most part and kept it just between the ropes in the contest.
Yeah, there was a little bit of extracurricular activity. Anytime you have two mega powerful alpha male type individuals that don't get along and don't like each other, you're going to see some of that. But it was like over the course of the fight, they kind of dialed it in and got control of that fight.
And there was a lot of emotion, but there was also control. Like we saw instances where someone got turned around, Caleb got turned around, and Jeremiah went to go throw a punch, and the ref yelled stop, and he stopped. He didn't take the cheap shot.
Even though we wanted to.
Right there.
So there's still that level of respect of the martial artists. At the end of the day, we are martial artists. We are very different, per se, than the boxing community. Than kickboxing, Muay Thai, it derives off respect. And we saw that here today. Even though all the trash talking, at the end of the day, there was tons of respect.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight Caleb Hunter can say he was not just in a fight, but he was the first one to win the first pro fight that was delivered here tonight by Johnny Davis and AK Promotions that went the distance of all things.
Wow.
All 9 rounds. And both of these fighters looked like they could have went 10 or 12.
They had a little more left.
And there wasn't a round, like sometimes you watch a fight and you're like, oh my gosh, just get it over with. So let me watch my phone, do something. There was none of that. Every round was exciting.
Edge of my seat the entire fight.
Amazing. All right, for Chad Mueller, Icy Mike, I'm Derek Reams. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank each and every one of you for coming out and joining us here on the stream. Until the next time, good night, everybody. Bye-bye.